Naturally am. I naturally feel like God gave me the gift of speaking, and I feel like God is telling me right now, like, you know what I'm saying, go ahead and reach out to Ink. I know it's a far shot, but go ahead and do it. You know what I'm saying? Reach out to him, and God is going to, you know what I'm saying, He's going to meet me right in the middle, and He's going to carry it however big He wants this to flourish for us. I feel like God put this on my heart to reach out to you, and He going to handle the rest. You know what I'm saying? He gonna do everything in between where He gonna connect the dots. I believe that God got sent this to me. And Mr. Inky Johnson, how you doing, sir? My name is Robert Hardin III, and the main reason for this video is, well, for one, I wanted to just show my appreciation to you and let you know how much you've inspired me along my journey, my entire college journey, ever since I started watching you. I'm real big on giving credit, so I want you to know, like, you've changed my life in more ways than you know, and I'm sure that goes for a lot of the world. You know, you're an amazing man and you're real inspirational. So for one, I wanted to show my appreciation and let you know, like, thank you for building confidence in myself just by looking at your own story. And but the reason for this video is I always wanted to introduce myself to you. So this to me is one of those, this is that you know, I want to introduce myself to you and tell you my story and let you know about my journey. And this right here is that this is that Oprah Winfrey story that you speak about. This is that, you know, fresh out of college, you're just getting out of college. You didn't have too much going on in your life at the time, but you had wrote a book. And you decided to take a trip down to Chicago, to Harpo Studios, and you wanted to personally hand Oprah Winfrey your book. And you wasn't really expecting too much about after the fact. You wasn't, you know, expecting to be on the show. You wasn't expecting to make, you didn't really have too many expectations, as you say. It was more so internally. It was more so about, you know, just, you know, wanting to confirm that God is still walking with you. So this right here, you know, technology and everything has sped up now, and the world we live in now. So I'm trying to use technology to my advantage. So this right here, this is my Oprah Winfrey book to you. You know, I wanted to introduce myself to you. This is that case. This is that case right here. So really quick about me, man. I made this video. So this is the third time I'm actually making the video. The first time I made it, I realized that I went back and watched it, and I realized I was rambling and I was taking too much time. I was going too long, just over talking. So I remade the video. Then once I remade the video, I got all the way through the end, and then I had to go do something. I had put my computer down, and I came back and it had closed, and I didn't even save the video. So my heart was broken. I was like, wow, I redid it, and it didn't even save. But anyways, you know, just moving forward, I just want to tell you a little bit about myself. So right now, I'm currently 27 years old. I live out here in California. I work for LAPD, you know, out here in California. So yeah, I work for the Los Angeles Police Department. I'm a former college football player, just like yourself. That's when I really got attached to you and wanted and digested into everything you spoke into the world. So yeah, when I was a football player, you know, high dreams, high hopes, high everything of making it to the NFL. Things didn't work out like that. And along my journey, I had, and I'm not even texting, but right here, I'm not sure if you can see, but I wrote down some notes, because I knew for about 2 or 3 weeks that I've been prepping it in my head and rehearsing it over and over and over. I want to introduce myself to Inky Johnson. You know, I feel like this is God. You know, God has guided me to do this. It's not something that I'm trying to force, but God was like, you know, you need to reach out to Inky Johnson after everything along my journey has been happening. And now looking at me now in the present, you know, as far as how I inspire people because of my story, it's been amazing. So, yeah, so I got this, I wrote it out, you know what I'm saying? I didn't write it out in a pen, but I put it in my notes on, you know, just key points on how I want to write everything. So this is my Inky Johnson video. So, real quick, I just want to take you to the beginning of, you know, my journey, you know, take you back to the beginning. So right now I'm 27 and I work for LAPD. So major football player, you know, very high passion, but I did hit a lot of bumps along my journey. And the reason that I tell you that I work for LAPD is not, I'm not bragging about that. Yeah, it's a good job, it's a city job, but I put that up front in the front of the video just to, now once I take you to the beginning and show you my journey, you can see how it's a success story in itself, just in a position that I'm in currently today. So that's why I want to let you know I'm doing good now. Now once I take you on the journey and I take you back to the beginning, man, you know what I'm saying, hopefully it'll impact you, and hopefully you be like, yeah, this guy overcame a lot, he had to overcome a whole lot. So I try not to take too much of your time, Ink. I appreciate you watching this video. I'm just speaking it into existence. I'm a real believer of speaking things into existence. I feel like this video will reach you. You know what I'm saying, you will watch it. I will make an impact on you, and you may want to make an impact on my life. That's what I pray for, God willing, if that's what God has planned for me. So one of the, I'm gonna just get straight to the point. One of my biggest adversity times came when I was in junior college. Okay, so when I was in high school, I only played 1 year. I played my senior year of high school football. That was the only year that I played football. Even though I've been playing football since 7 years old, Pop Warner, and college, and when it comes to school and eligibility, not just Pop Warner, I only played my senior year in high school. So when I was a sophomore in high school, I had got into a little bit of trouble, and I had to go to. I got sent to juvenile hall for a little while. I went to juvenile hall for a little bit, maybe like about a month, and when I got out, I had to do some house arrest time for a while, and each part of the story, I want to just hit on things that I had to overcome. But God willing, if I ever get the chance to sit down with you, or meet up with you, or anything, do an interview with you, I would love to go into deep detail about everything in my life. My entire journey, the goods, the bads, the ups and downs, the misfortunes, my own personal mistakes. But for now, I don't want to dive too deep into each detail, because I feel like it'll take too much of your time, and I know you're a busy man. So, but when I was a sophomore, I did go to juvenile hall for a little while, and so when I got out of juvenile hall, I had fell so far behind in my credits, and as far as school and graduating on time. So when I got out, I had to go to continuation school. So I had to go to continuation school for the remainder of my sophomore year and also my junior year in high school, just to make up those credits that I had missed while I was incarcerated. So that therefore my freshman year, I was on a football team, but I was still, I wasn't really focused and how I really needed to be. I was still transitioning into going into high school. So my freshman year was a wash. Sophomore year, junior year, I was at continuation school, making up credits that I had fell behind on, one of my own mistakes. So I did end up catching up to the current level of credits I needed by the end of my junior year to enter my senior year. My senior year, I entered back into a public school, and I was able to play football my senior year. So that within itself is a success story, because I had fell so far behind that advisors, people were telling me, like, you'll be lucky if you can just graduate from the continuation school on time. Not graduate from public school, graduate from the continuation school on time with your regular class that you'll be graduating class of 2011. I super exceeded that. I was able to go back to public school and graduate with the public school and with my friends. But I was able to play football for 1 year. That was big to me. I overcame what I dug myself into, and I was able to get back into school. That's one blessing. I consider everything blessings. I don't say none of this I don't take credit for anything. Everything, all my success, my troubles, everything that I go through, everything that I'm blessed with is a blessing from the Lord. It's God's grace. So I played 1 year in high school. I did okay. But of course, going to continuation school and 1 year in high school, you're probably not going to get a scholarship to a big time major school. So I didn't get a scholarship. So after high school, I went to a junior college. This is 2013 now. So I go to a junior college. I go to Long Beach City College. And now I'm getting more experience under my belt. I'm with more trainers, more coaches. I'm starting to really learn the game of football on the mental side. I always had the physical gift, that God blessed me with. But now I'm starting to understand the game. I'm starting to slow down for me. So another major, now this one right here, I feel is like the biggest hurdle or biggest downfall that I had in my career, where it was almost impossible to dig myself out of. So I'm at Long Beach City Junior College, and we played the whole season. It's the last game of the season, game 10 of the season. We're playing the school, College of the Desert, and this big brawl pops off. You know, it's the last game of the season. We're up. We're up maybe 50 to 10, 55 to 10. It's about 2 minutes left in the game. It's fourth quarter, so everybody on my team, we're all celebrating. The other team was just nagging all game long. They wasn't really one of the best teams. They weren't that good, but they would get under your skin in other ways. So they just nagging all game long. Anyhow, fast forward about 2 minutes before the game is over. It's the fourth quarter. My offense is on the field, and they're trying to run the clock out. By the way, I play safety, so I'm 6'3", 215, 220, and prototype safety. I'm pretty big, but I play the defense side of the ball, secondary. So the big brawl, happens. We end up having to go help our teammates, and you know how brawls happen. It's just a 50-man fight, everybody team on team fighting, and this picture comes out. Regarding the brawl, this picture comes out in the media the following week on that Monday morning. So this picture, right? So now just me explaining it. It's a brawl, Inky. So it's a brawl that's going on. So this picture right here, I still to this day I don't remember seeing this cameraman, nothing. I just don't understand how ironic it was that on the newspaper. It's not a picture of the brawl going down. It's one person, which is me, and it says I'm throwing a punch at one of the other players in a brawl. So I'm like, how ironic is it that, that really shook my world up. So it's Saturday night, the brawl happens, things break apart, we go on. Not to mention that following day, Sunday was my birthday. Inky, I kid you not, it was my birthday. That was the last game of the season. My birthday is November 17th, so it's always at the end of the season. So, we're having a good time on Sunday for my birthday. We're just embracing the moment of, the birthday. And this paper comes out right here. This is the newspaper of Long Beach. This is all over the school. So we have a team meeting at 3 p.m. on Monday morning, so on Monday afternoon. So all that morning, everybody's going to class, going to the weight room, things like that. But so Monday morning comes around and we're sitting in class, and that's when the newspaper dropped. That's when everybody's seen it. And I literally was flabbergasted. I could not believe what I was seeing. Everybody hitting me up. Yo, yo, Rob, you on the front page of the paper, socking the dude, this and this and this. I'm like, I'm for one, I was shocked, but I'm still in class. I'm like, okay, we're gonna see what this is really about once we get to the meeting. I'm not sure. I didn't know how much in depth that was going to cause me, how much, trouble that was going to cause me. So we get to the meeting at 3 p.m. Okay, so now it's a brawl. So our head coach walks in, and he's had meetings with the athletic advisor of the school all morning long. So he walks into the meeting and he addresses the brawl. And when he talks about it, he says that the disciplinary action, so the athletic advisor of the school, he rewatched the video 50 times, 100 times, and his disciplinary action that he told our coach to go with is everyone who is on camera involved in that fight, they will have a 1-game suspension the following year. The first game of the year, everyone who was involved in that fight, if you were seen on camera throwing a punch, you have a 1-game suspension that following year. And this is for the freshmen too. If you were a sophomore at that time, you kind of, got away free. You either were going to your next university, or you just got away easy. It was no punishment. We like, okay, we can accept that. We understand what happened. We'll accept that, 1 game. And I'm only a freshman, And I had a pretty good freshman year too. I didn't have the best year, but I could see the progression of myself, and I was eager to see what my second year I can do my second year. So then my head coach goes, he says, but that one player who is on that newspaper, who is on there throwing a punch, that one player, he's kicked off the football program, he's expelled from the school, and pretty much he's completely disconnected from Long Beach City College and all. I want him kicked out of the school, and I want him off the football program immediately, no matter what. And I'm looking at it, Ink, and I'm just like, I'm a big believer in God. I always believe in God. I'm, heavy on my faith. I'm heavy on, things work out how they're supposed to work out. But, so then I start questioning. I'm like, God, like that really shook my world. I went from, okay, prepping for the sophomore year, we're ready for the off season, to I'm kicked out of school, and I'm the only one kicked out of my school for this, and it wasn't even my fight. That's the picture of it, and my head coach that was at the junior college at the time, he's still there. I reached out to him a couple of days ago, and I told him, what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to, I want to tell my story to Inky Johnson, and I asked him for that actual footage. I've seen it 100 times. It was on YouTube, but they took it down after so long. So I reached out to my coach, and I asked him for that actual video. Just so I could paint the picture better for you, just to see how it was an unfortunate situation that happened. Because, like I said, I played safety. Our offense was on the field. Long story short, our offense is on the field, and we run a pitch play to the opponent's sideline. While our offense is over there, like 3 or 4 of our guys, a couple receivers, our quarterback, their entire sideline. A dude comes up and kicks our quarterback in the head. I mean, literally kick. We're not even talking about playing. He kicks our quarterback in the head, Inky. And then they, start jumping on this. So as a team, we all migrate across the field just to go help our teammates out. We're not saying it was right to fight fire with fire or, anything, but at the time, we finna protect our teammates as we're supposed to do, as I would think we were supposed to do. So me and everybody else on my team, we just come across the field, and the brawl happens. That's where it happens, on the opponent's sideline. That's okay. I'm not saying none of that didn't happen, but how ironic that this picture come out, and it looks, because with this picture right here, I scared off so many scouts. Like this was following me, and this really showed me how the media will literally can destroy someone's image. Because based off of this picture right here, this picture looks like I'm a troublemaker. This picture looks like he's a bad guy. He can't control his temper. He can't control his anger or anything. That's what the picture shows. If you haven't seen the video, if you don't know what happened, so it made my character just drop negatively, like below zero. Made me look like a troublemaker and a bad guy, and that's really not even me, So that's why when people see the video, people that were there, they understand, like, dang, Rob, you really didn't, it ain't nothing how that picture made it seem. It was just an unfortunate situation. So I'm like, okay, I'm kicked out of the school. There's nothing I can do to even fight it. He said whoever's on that front page, he has to go. You know what I'm saying? He made the school look bad in a public light, or however the advisor felt. It was just that I had to chalk it up. So literally in an instant, I seen my dream kind of take an alternative route. I won't say it shattered right in front of me, but it took an alternative route. And then so now one thing that I have to be aware of, Inky, and that so I know that God will test you. Anything worth having doesn't come easy, and I've learned that through experience. And I know that God will test you for something that you really want. So what I always have a try to figure out what I'm hearing it from God's inner voice when he's speaking to me, is, for one, God will test you to see how bad you really want something, to see if you're going to give up, to see if you have faith in God that he will get you there and make the impossible possible. But at the same time, God will take something away from you that you love, and you won't understand it, to the point where I couldn't figure out if God was telling me football wasn't for me and he had something better for me, or was he testing my faith to see if I would give up because times got hard. And I relate that to your story when you were at Tennessee. You spoke about this in one of your speeches. I watch all your speeches, bro. Every speech, every interview. And if I haven't watched it yet, if it's something out there I haven't seen, I'm pretty sure I'll come across it, because every day I try to find new different ones. But the story about when you were at Tennessee, and one of your teammates walked in, and he was just saying, like, yo, I'm about to quit. And you're like, you about to quit? Why are you about to quit? And he's like, I don't like the way they're talking to me. And you were just telling them, like, you don't like the way they're talking to you, and you're about to quit because of that. So you're pretty much about to quit because it's not as easy as you thought. They're not pampering you like you thought. It's not, you ran into a rock. Things aren't going your way, and you're about to quit just based off of that. Like, literally, I had that same feeling. I'm like, nah, I'm not about to quit because things got a little hard. I believe in God. I'm finna overcome this. This is just my will. This is just my faith talking. you know, that same exact story. Don't quit, man. It's about your legacy. No, things got hard. Get over it. Get around it. Whatever you got to do. So it's just like that story. So I was like, this is just a test from God, you know, like he's testing my faith. So yeah, I'm the human in me. I'm shook up. I don't really know what to do. You know what I'm saying? I'm frustrated. I feel like it's not fair. You know, I'm like, God, that's not fair. I didn't start that fight. I did not even, you know, that wasn't me that started that. And look what happened to me only. Everybody else just got 1 game suspensions. And some of my teammates on that same team went off to Boise State, San Jose State, Fresno State, Louisville. Like literally some of my same teammates that was in that same brawl. And I got kicked out of junior college. So I went through a period of that's not fair, but you know what? My faith, you know what I'm saying, my mental is stronger than what's going on right now. I know this is probably just a test, God. So I pretty much hit rock bottom. I just got kicked out of college, so I'm at home and I'm trying to figure out what's my next step, what's my next move. And the thing about it is, you know, it's junior college Inc. So we don't have like, you know, personal advisors or personal people that, you know what I'm saying, help guide you along the path. You know, if you're at a major school, you'll have people talking to you, showing you what to do next, how to, you know what I'm saying, get back to where you came from. You know, you have more support, you have more help, more resources. Junior college is none of that. Well, not at the one that I was at. So once I got kicked out of school, I was just Rob, just me, just a person again. Nobody else trying to help me, you know what I'm saying, make my dream come true. But, you know, at the same time, like, it's okay. I don't even need nobody. God gonna show me the way. I always believe this. God is gonna show me the way. So when I get kicked out, you know, I'm at the house. My mom was like, well, son, like, you know, if that happened and if that's the end of it, you know, what's your next step? So at this time, I went and got I went and got a job. I had went and got my guard card, and I was a security guard for this grocery store that was right up the street from my house, not too far from where I was living with my mother at the time. And so I go get this job at the grocery store, and so I'm literally like, this is my whole sophomore season. I'm just watching everybody continue their journeys, continue their lives, and I'm working at the grocery store. You know what I'm saying? My pride is hurt. But so every single night, what I would do is, and I used to work the 4 p.m. to midnight shift. So I would be getting off at midnight, getting home around 12:30. And every night, so what I would do is, I'm like, okay, I just got kicked out of junior college. I have 1 year of film. The odds are, you know what I'm saying, I always try to be realistic with myself. And I'm like, the odds are I probably won't make it D1. So every night when I would get home, it'd be 1 in the morning, 2, 3 in the morning. I would go on to a D2's program. So I would get on my computer. I would be doing research, see what D2s are, and I don't know a whole lot of them. I would go to one D2 school, and I would hit up that coaching staff. You know, I created a email, you know, hi, my name is Robert Harden. I'm 6'3", 230. I play safety. Here's my freshman tape from the junior college I was at. You know what I'm saying? I hope to be, you know what I'm saying, you guys would like me to join your program. You know what I'm saying? If that's God's will. And so I wrote this email up, and I would send it out. I sent out maybe 200, 300 emails. I would go to one D2's page, then hit that coaching staff up. Then I will go to their schedule. So, you know, their schedule, they're going to play about 10, 11 opponents. I would go to each opponent's website, go to their coach and find their coaching staff and send out that same email. So just off of one page, I was able to reach 12 different coaches. Then I would go to a completely different page or someone that's not in their conference and go to that one page and hit up all and go to their 12, 11, you know what I'm saying, opponents. You know, each that way I'm quadrupling I'm finding schools that I don't even know about. I've never even heard of these schools, but I just want a opportunity to get a scholarship to go to a school. You know what I'm saying? Just to try and make my dreams come true. So, I probably sent out about 200, 250 emails, 300 maybe. I probably got about 8 or 9 hit, you know what I'm saying, replies, and that was enough for me. All I really needed was just one opportunity. I just needed one hit back. So, you know, I started doing that, and then I came to terms with one school. So after I get kicked out of Long Beach City, I go ahead and personally get back. And I don't like to say that I'm self-made, because I'm not self-made, but God put it in my heart. God got me back to where I needed. I was able to overcome that, and I ended up getting a scholarship from Missouri Southern State out there in Missouri Southern State University. And they were like, I really like your film. Can you give me your transcripts? You know what I'm saying? We can go ahead and offer you this and this and that. And so I'm like, okay, cool. Like I'm stoked at this point. I'm like, wow, like it really worked out for me because for what I'm saying, a couple months of emailing every single night, hitting back, it finally worked out for me just by perseverance and not giving up. Now they're like, okay, send me your transcripts. I sent them everything, and I knew that to transfer from a junior college to a university that you need 60 to 65 credits because that's about a 2-year. You get your AA. So when I got kicked out of Long Beach City, I was still taking classes at another junior college. I wasn't on the football team, but I was taking classes. Then, but I didn't know the specific classes that I needed to meet the curriculum of a certain school. You gotta have so many history classes or so many math. Like you gotta have certain academic courses to meet the curriculum, not just 60 units. So when I sent my transcripts to Missouri, thinking everything was good, they like but somehow I ended up figuring out that dang, it was 2 classes that I was short. I was short 2 classes. It was a civil class, and it was another class that I was short of. And so I'm like, dang, they just offered me a scholarship, but I'm 2 classes short of the classes that I need to be able to meet the minimum standard of going to their school. So, and this is my journey, Inky. This is not this part right here is not something that I'm proud of. It was just like I said, I wanted to show you my journey. I don't want to just tell you about just the misfortunes. I want to tell you about the mistakes that I made along the way as well. So at this point right here, so I'm like, okay, I'm desperate at this point, Inky. I'm like, man, I shouldn't have got kicked out that school. I'm desperate to give myself a second chance, or to get a second chance just to play football, just to make it to the NFL. So I'm desperate. I'm doing anything that that I can do. I'm emailing anybody. I'm hitting up any school that I don't even know just to try and get an opportunity. So when I was getting ready, I told Missouri State I'll send them over my transcripts. So what I did was I made a fake transcript. I made a fake transcript. I had my real transcripts, my official ones from my junior college, but I added those 2 classes that I needed. I made a fake transcript and I added them in. Trust me, it's not something that I'm proud of. It was weighing on me heavy. I know that I was taking the risk. I didn't even mean no harm by it. I wasn't trying to finesse nobody or trying to get over on the university. I just was so desperate to give myself a second chance that I did whatever I had to do or whatever I could do to get back into that position, to that second chance. So I felt bad about it, but that is what I did. That was, I created a fake transcript where it looked like I had enough classes or enough units to be eligible. And when I went to Missouri State, it was January. I went mid-semester, so I didn't even go like right before season, like right before in the summertime. I didn't go. I went in January of 2015, and so I got to Missouri State. Things are going, and it was something where like when I got there, first of all, it was my stomach was turning the entire that month or two. The process of getting a scholarship, getting ready to go to the school, my stomach was turning because I knew what risk I took, and I promise you, I didn't mean no harm by it, but it was something that I did. And it was just like another one of your stories is when I remember you took your recruiting. You said you took your recruiting visit to Tennessee, and your host was like, it's a party, it's a couple of different things that we can do tonight. What you want to do? And you told him like, man, can you take me back to my hotel? No disrespect, but this is the first time that I've had an actual bed to sleep in. I was the same way, Inky. When I went to Missouri State, I didn't take no recruiting visit. I didn't take nothing. The first time I got on a plane in my entire life, I flew straight out to school, went way to Missouri. It's snowing, and I didn't look back. No recruit, nothing. I was so stoked. You guys are giving me an opportunity. You offering me a scholarship. I'm there on the next flight. I don't need nothing to influence me. You don't got to pull no strings with me. I'm ready right now. Thank you. I didn't have none of that. I just went straight to school. Didn't know what I was really stepping into, but I had an opportunity. I'm gone. I'm taking it. So things are going good. I finished the first semester there. The summertime come around, so then the season comes, in September. And the first couple games, I didn't even play like the first 2 or 3 games. I was still getting familiar with the team. We had some pretty nice dudes on that team. So coming in as a sophomore, I didn't really play that much. It wasn't until like week 4 or week 5 when I got into the game for the first time, and That's when I made my first 2 tackles of the season. My first tackle was on kickoff, and my second one I made it on like a 3rd and 15 or something. But those were the first times I had stats, that I actually had stats, like the 5th game of the season. So I don't know what it was. I don't know what was going on with the school or anything, but for some reason they just had a feeling, or I can't tell you why it happened or how it happened. But when I got on the stat sheet and my name was on there, they just re-looked at everything. They just looked at my transcripts to make sure that I don't know what made them or what told them to do it. Inky, I don't. But they re-looked at all my transcripts and they called the school, and they end up figuring out that there were these, you know what I'm saying, it was a false transcript. It was a fake transcript. So it's crazy because we're getting ready to go to an away game the following week. Again, I'm in the locker room prepping, I'm saying, getting my bag together, putting my pads in and everything I'm gonna wear, and one of my coaches walked in and said, "Hey, the advisors want to see you immediately." I don't know what it's about, but they called, they said they want to see you immediately. My heart dropped, so like I kind of figured what it was about. So then I go see my advisors, then they said, they confirmed, like, this is a false transcript. You didn't take these classes, we just called that institution this and this. And I was like, and I wasn't even being defensive about it. I really kind of, they could see it in my face, they could see it in my spirits, I'm guessing, but I was just like, yes, ma'am, it's a fake. I admitted to it. I'm like, it is I did add those classes on there and tried to falsify, I falsified it. And but the grace and the mercy part about that story is, for some, like, they were telling me, like, yo, this is, this could be big. This could be, a crime. This is forgery. Like, this is plagiarizing. You can actually do jail time for this. If we wanted to go that route. But I don't know what I know what it was. It was grace and mercy. They was like, so, we'll cut you a deal. They're like, you seem like a good kid. And, I told them the situation. I told them, like, yeah, I just really wanted an opportunity so bad. I wasn't really thinking. I'm just trying to figure out what I can do to get an opportunity. I told them my situation. And they had a heart out for me. They were like, you know what? You do seem like a good kid since you've been here. I've seen you have been maintaining your grades, this and this and that. So they said, what we'll do is, we have to expel you from our school. We can't allow you to continue going here, but we won't put this on your tracer. So they basically were saying, like, what you should do is, what you can still do is, you can't continue to go to Missouri State, but when you get home, go ahead and do things the correct way. Take some online classes, get the credits you want to, and then you apply for another school. And if God, if you get blessed with another scholarship, you'll have the actual credits this time. You can move forward. This won't follow you. This right here, we're gonna just turn the other eye and act like it never happened. And we wish you the best of luck moving forward. So I took that, and I was so happy for it. Like, even though I was getting kicked out of school, for them to just have mercy on me and have a, a heart to heart and feel for me, I was like, man, that's a blessing, because it could have been a lot big. Even when I made them, I didn't think it could be that big. I didn't think I can go to jail for that. Like, I didn't think it could have, like, damaged me the way it could have. And they just turned the other cheek. They're like, just God bless, God bless you on the rest of your journey. Make something of yourself. So I'm like, okay, I ran with it. I went back home. I broke the story to my mom, told my family this is what happened. And they were just like, dang, like, we didn't even know you did that, 'cause nobody knew it. Didn't nobody know that part of the story. When I made it, I just told my family I got a scholarship and I'm out. But they didn't know what I had to do to get that scholarship. So I broke the news to them. Yeah, they were disappointed a little bit, but I'm like, it's just me, man. I'm doing whatever I can, the best, whatever I could think of. I don't really have the resources to help me get to where I'm trying to get to. But I'm not complaining about it. That's just me. So, I'm figuring things out on my own. So I get back home. I go back home. I enroll back into another junior college, and I take like 4 or 5 classes, the actual classes that I need to get to a university. At this time, I'm working at Planet Fitness. So I worked at Planet Fitness for like 3 or 4 months, just while I was at home getting those universities. And then a couple of those other reply backs that I got when I was sending out that mass email, I hit up some of those schools again. I'm like, I'm back on the transfer board. I was seeing if you guys still was in need of a safety. I'm available. I would like to come to your school. So now I went from the D2 that I was going to in Missouri to an NAIA school out here in Arizona called Arizona Christian. And NAIA rules are different. Their curriculum is different. They're more lenient versus a D1 that's, versus a Stanford. Somebody that's strict is more lenient. So I did things the right way. I dug myself out the hole. I did my due diligence, and I got the actual credits that I needed. I got them the correct way this time. So Arizona Christian University sent me, they offered me a scholarship, which was a true blessing. So I took that in 2016. I ended up going to Arizona Christian in 2016 to play out my last 2 years, my junior year, my senior year. And that's when things finally started to go good for me. Like, I wasn't looking over my shoulder. I wasn't losing sleep, being paranoid about anything. And I was just on a straight path. I came in and I was almost a starter my junior. Well, we had a nice guy, a dude in front of me, my guy from Detroit. He was nice. He was a senior. I was a junior. I was right behind him. But it was cool because I was learning from him. I was just learning the game. So junior year goes by. Everything is good. My senior year comes up, and I'm the man now. I got the number one. And all the weight is on my shoulders to carry this team. I'm the leader in the secondary. And it's crazy because right when that happened, another bump, I would say, it was not even a bump, but another situation happened in life where, something else I gotta, I had to, it was on my plate now. So I remember like it was yesterday. So I come home, it's the summertime. I'm at home with my mom, we chilling at the house. And for the whole summer, I'm just chilling at my mom's house. And then I go back to camp on August 3rd. I went to camp August 1st. And that's when fall training camp is before the season. You go to camp with your team. I get a text message from my ex-girlfriend on August 3rd, and she says, hey, I'm pregnant. And I'm like, another one of your stories. I'm like, dog, like, how that happened? Like, literally, how did that happen? We understand how it happened, but like, how that happened? Like, not right now, Lord. Not right now, Lord. It's my senior year. I'm trying to make it to the NFL, and I already have to overcome so much. Let me just focus on myself, Lord. Please, just let me focus. I got two. Like right now, I have 27 worth of. I got two kids. I got two beautiful kiddos. One boy, one girl. Just like you. My little girl, she just turned 3 in April, and my boy, he'll be 1 in November. This is, now this is my girlfriend, my wife to be. Things have gotten better. But at the time of her first pregnancy in 2017, she was my ex-girlfriend. And I love to go into depth about that whole story too. Everything came full circle, but now we're doing good for ourselves. 2-bedroom home. The kids got their own room. We have a backyard. We've matured and we're together now. We're just not my ex no more. I did things the right way, and we're gonna make this a family. That's just what I chose. I chose to do things the right way. But so I'm like, dang. Now I got this on my mind my entire senior season, and then not to even mention after that, I was so stressed out about that situation that I ended up getting hurt. I had a torn groin, so I missed the first 3 games of my senior season, literally. So once again, I'm just relaying it back to God is testing you. God is testing you. Anything worth having is not gonna come easy. It's gonna be hard. So I'm like, all right, man. I'm still shaking it off, even though I'm mentally drained and I'm physically beat down about everything I just had to keep overcoming. Like my mental is just drained, but my faith is stronger than my mental. And I'm like, just keep pushing, Rob. It's gonna pay off. God got you. God got you. It's gonna push up. It's gonna pay off. So, and in my senior season, it turned out pretty cool. I still ended up leading my team in interceptions, couple forced fumbles, couple fumbles. It was a good season, I ended it on a high note. That was the most interceptions I had in my entire career. Even though missing those games and being, having the child it still was pretty good. So, but since that happened, and now I'm glad that I'm talking to you, so the time frames of everything as far as football, school, and everything. That the football season is from September to December, November, December. Based on if you make it to the playoffs or things like that, bowl games. So the senior, so right now, and my girlfriend told me that she was pregnant in August. So my little girl's birthday, just to make the story make sense, her birthday is April 18th, 2018. She's born in April. So. Like literally right now, I have to this date, I have 123 credits, college credits, and I need 135 just to graduate and get my degree. Like right now at this moment, I don't have my degree. I literally only need I need 12 credits. I can go get my official transcripts upstairs right now, and I have 123 credits. And the reason that I didn't get my degree is when the season was over in December, I'm like, man, I got a child on the way. You know what I'm saying? The expected date is sometime in April. So I left school right after the season was over to come back home to California and just be there for my girlfriend and, you know, try to be there for my kid. That was my main focus. I'm like, I got to be there for my kid regardless, no matter what. So, but basically, if I would have stayed from January to June, you know, that last semester, I would have got my degree. But I would have missed the birth of my daughter, you know what I'm saying? I would have missed the you know, take your shirt off and go skin to skin, you know what I'm saying? Let them understand your mother and your father, you know, that skin to skin moment. I would have missed every, you know, cutting the umbilical cord. I just didn't want to miss nothing on with, you know what I'm saying, regarding being my child. I wanted to be there as much as I could. So I don't even regret the decision of coming home early and not getting my degree. I plan on actually going back to school and getting my degree, just finishing those last 12 units and getting it. But that's the reason I don't even have my degree now. I came home for my daughter because, you know what I'm saying, my girl, I didn't want her to do everything on her own, you know, going to appointments and things like that. All right, man. Ink, I hope you hanging in there with me, sir. Please, I know it's getting kind of long, but please just hang in there with me a couple more minutes. I'm trying to make everything make sense, and I'm trying to wrap it up at the same time. So please just hang in there with me, bro. I really appreciate your time. So I'm back at home now, and at this time I'm training at this it's a pretty big facility out here in California. I'm training at Stars. It's out here in Anaheim, California. And now, mind you, I'm coming from an NAIA school, so for one, the reality of an NAIA player making it to the NFL is slim to none. We just know that. I always try to be realistic with myself, but my faith is always a little bit bigger, where I have enough faith to keep going. Even though the odds are against me, even though in reality that NAIA players don't make it and it's probably not going to happen, my faith is telling me keep going. You know, my faith is bigger than any of my fears. So I'm training at Stars, so I'm training around all kind of, you know, D1 guys. They're, you know what I'm saying, guys from the Pac-12, SEC, everybody. You know, everybody is just, you know, in that facility, you know, everybody's big time. Everybody has agents. Everybody has been housed there, fed there, trained there. Me, I don't have an agent. You know, I don't have nobody pushing for me. I'm telling in my head, I'm like, I don't even know how I'm gonna make it to the NFL without an agent. I don't even know how I'm gonna get in contact with one of these NFL organizations and someone's gonna put my name on their desk where they can see me and, you know what I'm saying, hopefully like me. But I'm like, somehow God is gonna make the impossible possible. It's gonna happen. I don't know how it's gonna happen, but I feel like it's gonna happen. And I'm like, that's enough for me. I'm a rock. So it'd be crazy because I'd be sitting around with these D1 guys, you know what I'm saying, UCLA or whatever, and they all talking about their college careers, and I'm like, you know, they get to me, I'm like, nah, I was at an NAIA school, I bought a little, like, they didn't, you know what I'm saying, I don't fit in. I was the only NAIA player, and I mean, literally, it was, you know what I'm saying, about 15 D1 guys, maybe one or two D2 dudes, just in NAIA, nobody, but, and all the dudes that was there, the agents are paying for their training. You know, you get trained, you know what I'm saying, they pay for everything, they take care of everything. I was paying out of pocket just to work out at this facility, like a couple thousand, like, you know what I'm saying, to work. And I'm like, my faith is that big. I just, you know what I'm saying, I'm gonna pay to be around the environment that I want to be around. I'm like, if I'm hanging around 9 potential NFL players, and I'm gonna be the 10th one. So I'm like, whatever, I'm willing to pay for it. You know what I'm saying? Some of my teammates at my school, they like, bro, like, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Be realistic with yourself. I'm like, nah, I'm doing this. I'm finna do this. This is what I got planned. I'm going for the gusto. I'm going big. I'm finna train at the best facility, even if I gotta pay for it. I don't have the same resources. It's okay. I don't have time to cry about it right now. So just, you know, just like the time frame. So I'm gonna speed it up. You know what I'm saying? Fast forward. So, you know, the draft is always around March, April, May. It varies. You know, the NFL draft. And at this point, you know what I'm saying, God is my right hand. He knows. He's like, I'm just praying to get on somebody's practice squad, bro. I'm not even expecting to be drafted. I'm not expecting to be high and around. I'm not expecting nothing. I'm like, Lord, just give me the opportunity where I could be on somebody's practice squad for 1 year. You know what I'm saying? And that's good with me. Like, if I get on somebody's practice squad, I feel like I accomplished my goal. You know what I'm saying? I made it. Besides everything I went through, I still made it to where I wanted to be. I proved it to myself, you know what I'm saying, and with faith I can make it. I'm praying for a practice squad. I'm not even praying to be a starter. None of that, because I'm still being realistic. So I'm like, I don't even know if that's good or bad if I was settling, but I was like, Lord, just let me get on somebody's practice squad for one. Even if I would have made it for 1 year, I would have I would have felt fulfilled within my spirit. I would have been like, I would have felt like I made it. Like everything that I went through wasn't a waste. You always speak about wasted experiences. I'm like, everything I went through wouldn't have been a waste. So, but regardless, I still had the passion of somebody that would have been first round, a Jalen Ramsey. Somebody that know they're going to lead, that passion for football. I had that same passion. Just because I went to an NAIA don't mean I was less passionate about the game. I love the game dearly. I would do anything to make it, make that dream come true, as as I did with the trend. I was willing to hurt myself just to make it. Like, and I'm not saying that I didn't know what I was speaking at the time, but I'm like, Lord, I would do anything. I was that passionate about the game. So my daughter's born on April 18th, and so in that same time frame right there, I didn't get a call from no teams in March. The draft comes and goes. Never heard from no team. So pretty much I'm out of college eligibility now. I'm like, dang, my dream did not come true. Like, so that's a real dark time for when people pass NFL, NBA, baseball, whatever. When you don't make it to the big leagues, if that was your dream, it hurts. That shakes a lot of people. A lot of people can't shake back from that. That will, that'll rock your world. So, and it's like all in one weekend. Like, I didn't make it to the NFL, and it just settled into its reality now. I didn't get a call, didn't make it to the NFL, and pretty much the next day, my daughter was born. I'm like, dang, I got a kid. So I just had a kid, Lord, and I didn't make it to the NFL. Talk. Just, I hope people could like put themselves in my shoes. Talk about a hard time. Like, I don't have nothing to offer this beautiful little girl. I put all my eggs in one basket just thinking that I was going to make it to the NFL. Now I'm starting from ground zero all over again. I don't have a job. I have no type of income. I have nothing. So, man, it's crazy just thinking about it. Like, but, so I don't even have time to grieve of not making it to the NFL. Your dream, your dream come crashing down, and it takes time to get over that. I don't even have that time because I got to figure out what I'm going to do for my little girl. So, at this point, I was so low, man. This is at when she was born. I end up working at Jack in the Box. And it's another great story that I love about you is when you speak of your mother had dreams of becoming a nurse, but then you say, but she had you pretty young. She had dreams of becoming a nurse. She had you, and she put her career, her nursing dreams on hold. And started working at Wendy's to take care of you, to provide for you. And you say, that stuck with you. And I'm hearing all this stuff, so I'm watching your videos now, but this is the things that I was going through in 2017, 2018. So, didn't make it to the NFL. I'm like, okay, in my head, I was like, okay, that's not going to stop me. I'm going to go to the CFL. I'm going to CFL trials. I'm going to go to arena football if I have to. I'm going to continue getting tape. But then I had my kid. So I didn't even have the time to. The CFL is not guaranteed. The arena football, it's not, it wasn't going to provide for my daughter. So, a lot like your mom, I kind of put my dreams on hold, and I had to stop chasing my dream to provide for my daughter, man. At this time, I was just applying everywhere. Any type of job I can get, anything I can get, I was taking just because I need to provide for my daughter. So I started working at Jack in the Box Inc. I started working at Jack in the Box for like 5 or 6 months. And man, it was just real. I had to put my pride to the side. It was real heavy on my heart because I'm like, man, just 2 months ago I was a college football player training for the NFL. Now I'm working at Jack in the Box, and it's like nothing against Jack in the Box. You got to do what you got to do. But for someone to be, training for the NFL and then you got to drop the Jack in the Box, like, dang, God, like literally, like this is what it all turned out to be. Like, this is what happens at the end. I just work here, and when I'm working at Jack in the Box, that's minimum wage, so it's really not even taking care of everything. So it was a point, Inky, where I was working at Jack in the Box, then I would leave work, or on an off day from work, I even still got the scars right here. Like, I was the plasma, the little plasma centers, you can go donate blood, donate plasma. I would go donate plasma, 2 or 3 times a week. The first visit you get $75. The second visit you get $55. The third visit $45. It goes lower and lower and lower. Man, I was even donating plasma just to like try to have a couple extra dollars, or maybe I can get my daughter some diapers. She's getting older now. Can I get her a walker? Something to just. And then even after that, I would go from plasma. I was finding jobs on Craigslist. I remember this one specific job on Craigslist that this is like one of the first ones I ended up getting. It was around October. So my daughter born in April, October. She's about 6 months, and it was some gentleman or whoever he was building haunted houses for Halloween. So I remember like I'm going out there to work for a dude. I'm spraying haunted houses. You know, I'm spray painting. I'm doing it like it's a job on Craigslist that I found. I'm working at Jack in the Box, donating plasma. Craigslist jobs. I'm literally just grinding it out right now, and you know I didn't even have no time to feel sorry for myself or nothing like that. I would be, and it's crazy because I'd be at Jack in the Box, and I'm, you know, what I'm saying, a genuine guy, a good guy. I'm still treating people, you know, what I'm saying, you know how I would want to be treated, and people would be telling me like, man, you know. You a big dude, you know what I'm saying? You pretty tall. Why you working here? You should be playing basketball, man, for the Lakers. You should be playing football for, you know what I'm saying, whoever. Oh, man, talk about, like, hurting your pride. Like, that was a pride killer right there, Ink. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, dang, here I am asking you, you want a number, you know what I'm saying? You want number 8, you know what I'm saying? You want onions on it, you don't want onions. Like, and they telling me I should be doing something more with my life. Like, oh, like, it would just, reality just kicked me right in the rear end all over again. It was tough, man, but I feel like at that time I was just being obedient. You know, I'm like, things aren't gonna always be like this, Rob. It can't always be like this. Right now, you just going through a dark time. You hit rock bottom, and you know what I'm saying. It's just you and God. I'm not even looking myself in the mirror, I'm closing my eyes, brushing my teeth. Right now, it's just me and God, and I'm trying to listen to what He's telling me. And I was being obedient. I didn't want to get no fast money out the streets. I didn't want to do nothing illegal where I could possibly get taken away from my daughter. So if it's Jack in the Box, if it's donating plasma, if it's Craigslist job, I'm doing what I got to do to be here for my kid. I'm putting her first, and I'm being obedient to God. So after a stint of working at Jack in the Box, I ended up not working there no more and moving a little closer to home. I was living in Las Vegas at that time when I was doing all that. I was staying in Las Vegas with my grandmother. So I ended up quitting working at Jack in the Box, moving back to California with now my girlfriend. She's a couple years older than me. She's more stable. She was more stable at the time. She had a pretty good job now. My girlfriend, she actually works for LAPD too. She does dispatch, you know, for the department. So, but she's been there for about 5 or 6 years. She was there when I was in college and things. So she has a stable job. She's good enough. So I remember, man, I came back home and back to ground zero. No income that I was coming in every 2 weeks or anything like that. And I remember, man, at this point, my daughter probably like 9 months going on, you know what I'm saying, a year after that. And for 4 months when I came back to California, when I didn't have a job, it was just me and my daughter every day. Like since I didn't have a job, and I would be staying. My girlfriend, she had her own place. She had a 1-bedroom apartment in Long Beach. And I would just be staying over there. I'm like, man, if I can't do nothing else, I'm gonna at least just be there with my kid every day. I used to look at it as like, okay, I'm babysitting the kid. My girl has work. I'm gonna be at the house with the kid. And like, man, it was a lot. You know, that's tough on you as a man. You know, your pride. You want to be the breadwinner. You want to be the head of the household. And I'm like, man, here I am at the house with the kid while my girl. We watching her get up at 6 a.m. every morning and go to work, and then it's just me and the kid. And I remember, man, I would be asking my girlfriend, like, I would just be like, yo, it'd be at the top of the week, and I'd be like, can you maybe, you know what I'm saying, can we go to the store and can we buy like, you know what I'm saying, 6 or 7 packs of Rice-A-Roni? Like, you know, at this time, my daughter, she's starting to eat soft food. Like, she could eat solids, but it still has to be soft. So Rice-A-Roni was perfect. They're $1 a pack. I would ask her, like, can we just go to the store and buy 6 or 7 of those? I just want to be able to make some lunch for, you know what I'm saying, our little girl when she, you know what I'm saying, in the middle of the day. And so at that point, I had nothing else to offer my kid but, you know what I'm saying, be there for her presently, you know what I'm saying, love and being there presently. And she loved him. I don't even realize she didn't even realize what Dad was going through, because I remember we would wake up about 7:30 every day, and I would put her on the potty. I was learning how to potty train. Every morning I would sit on the regular toilet with her, and I'm like, man, I'm finna just instill him, you know what I'm saying, just be there for my daughter, things that don't require money. You could teach her, you could train her how to get potty trained. You could teach her how to use the restroom. We would do that every morning, and I took pride in that. And then around 12 o'clock every day, I would pop a pot on the stove, and I would make some Rice-A-Roni, And I would just be sitting there just feeding my daughter and her little spoon. And man, she loved it. Ink like me, right now to this day, my whole family everybody tell you, me and my daughter are inseparable. She's really a daddy's girl. Like I can't, you know what I'm saying? She's attached to me. And I really feel like I built our relationship when I was at rock bottom and I had nothing else to give her but my time and my presence. So now I'm looking back at it like me just feeding her at 12 o'clock every day with the little rice is falling all off her face. You know what I'm saying? Taking naps together about 2, 3 p.m. You know what I'm saying? Potty training together. That meant a lot. I didn't even know what I was doing was such a big thing, but that was big on what I was doing because on the inside, my heart is hurting. I'm hurt. You know what I'm saying? I'm embarrassed. I'm disappointed in myself. But I'm making my daughter happy, man. That's what I'm supposed to be doing, you know what I'm saying? And I say that with pride, and I thank God that He gave me the mental capacity to go that route rather than to jump off the deep end. Some people, you know what I'm saying, jump off the deep end when life gets too hard. So that happens, you know what I'm saying, for about 4 months, and so now I'm starting to get to the better days in life. All right, so now fast forward a little bit. I had applied for LAPD, and it take a while to get those type, like a city job or somewhere like kind of. It take about a year to get the job. You got to do a whole bunch of written tests, physicals, backgrounds, you know what I'm saying, medical evaluation. So it took about a year to get to LAPD, but time finally came where I got, you know what I'm saying, they approved it. I got offered the job. So now I'm working at LAPD. I passed, you know what I'm saying, I go through a 3-month academy. You know what I'm saying, things are better now in life. This is 2020. You know what I'm saying? This is last year sometime. I've been working here. I've been working at LPD like a little over a year now, about 15, 16 months. So these are the better days in life though. So I'm there. Now things are getting better. And you know, just how you talk about wasted experiences. Oh, and one thing another thing I relate to you is I remember, and this is a video that you had with Ed Mylett. I got first introduced to Ed Mylett through watching your interview with Ed. I was looking up something for you, and it popped up, and I watched it, and right here in Newport Beach. And just, you know, real quick is how Ed Mylett, he wanted to be, you know what I'm saying, he always grew up wanted to be a baseball player, and he just, you know, big major league. That's what he wanted to do. Things didn't work out that way. His father was like, okay, well, here goes a job working with the kids. And before he came who he is today, the motivational speaker, he started off working with the kids, you know, in that realm. And then he just knew that he wanted to inspire, you know what I'm saying? It grew bigger and bigger and bigger for him. Same with you, when you got your unfortunate situation happen and you moved back home, you called the guy from the rec center and you're back in your old neighborhood and you wanted to work with the kids, you know, the same exact thing. And it's crazy because I will always tell my granny, like, my granny is real grounded. That's where I get a lot of my spiritual knowledge from. And I will always tell her, like, Granny, man, one day I want to go work back at that juvenile hall that I went to, because, you know what I'm saying, I was in those kids' shoes. You know what I'm saying, I literally speak their language, and I just want to inspire them with my own story. You know, I made it to college. I was a college athlete. You know what I'm saying, I got a good job now. I always used to say that way before I even started working the job. I'm still in college. I'm like, I want to go work at that juvenile hall one day. You know what I'm saying? Football is going to end one day for everybody, as it does. Whenever my journey is over, I want to go work at that job. So I had applied for the juvenile halls, and Los Angeles Police Department, LAPD, ended up hitting me back sooner. So I get the job, and now this is finally where everything is starting to make sense, Ink. So I'm like, dang, them are not wasted experience, because I'm in my job now. And if you look at me, Ink, like, I got the tattoos, bro. You know, I got the beard. I don't look like the typical officer. I know the typical officer is white collared, or, you know what I'm saying, majority of them are white officers. So, you know, I don't fit that mold. I kind of trailblaze my own path, and I don't look like nobody else. I'm myself. I'm kind of different. So it's, of course, I get, you know, side eye from, you know, officers, you know what I'm saying, because I don't look like the traditional officer. So they looking at me like, who is this guy? Who we bringing to the department? And before they even know me, you know what I'm saying, I'm the perfect, you know what I'm saying, example of don't judge the book by its cover, because it's crazy how I be at work, man, and it be the most hardcore gang members, you know what I'm saying, street dudes. I work LAPD, right, 5 minutes from USC, right in South Central. So, you know what I'm saying, these dudes, you know, people come in and they like, man, F the police. We know what the slogan is right now going on in the world is F the police, F the police, F the police. So they come in, they're not talking to nobody. They can't get no information out these dudes, this and this. And I literally walk up, you know what I'm saying, and you know what I'm saying, I book them, you know what I'm saying? We got to book, we got to process, we got to house them till they go off to court. So just processing it, you know what I'm saying, getting their fingerprints, it take about 10, 15 minutes. I'm talking to these dudes, you know, and one thing that I do with them is I'll be vulnerable first. Like just like Ed Miley was saying, I learned this from Ed. I heard Ed Miley say it, but I realized I always be doing it. Like I'll be vulnerable. The first thing I tell them is like, look, bro, man, I'm just like you, man. I ain't no better than you are. Please don't think that. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I got the uniform on. Yeah, I'm law enforcement. I ain't no better than you are, bro. I tell them all the time, man, look at my tattoos, bro. Look at me. When I get off work, I listen to the same rap music you listen to. You know what I'm saying? When I'm at home, I got my little jewelry I put on. I'm just like you, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? I be vulnerable with I'm just like, you know what I'm saying? And I be having people open up to me that you never would thought. So, and I be thinking to myself, like, man, how do I, like, it be dudes twice my age, you know, really be like, hey, man, you know what I'm saying? You doing things right, man. I'm proud of you, man. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? I should have took your route. And I'm like, dang, like I really speak these dudes' language. They really see me, and when they see me, they see themselves. So I'm like, man, like it's crazy how this impact that I have on these, you know what I'm saying, arrestees. Like I'm really inspiring them and I'm really motivating them. And these dudes is twice my age. And I remember I will always tell my granny, like, I want to go back to that jail. You know what I'm saying, that juvenile hall, that I went to, because I want to go back to them same young kids and be like, and the proof is in the pudding. You can't deny it. I'm not making this up. I'm like, man, I was in your shoes once before, you know what I'm saying? Like, and look at me now to have went to college and to have made it and did all that I have done and I have accomplished through going through trials as well. I'm like, man, that's really dope to me. So I always wanted to go back to the juvenile hall, but it's crazy that I'm at the jail now, and I'm not only inspiring the youth, I'm inspiring the dudes that's older than me as well, you know. So, and it's one story, like, so, and I always been this way, like, man. One thing about me is like I got 3 younger brothers. I got a 22-year-old younger brother and two 19-year-old brothers. I got 1 on my mom's side and 2 on my dad's side. So I always, just like you know, you had your cousins, you had your little cousins that was growing up in the household with you, the 14 people in the household, and you were like, you know what I'm saying, these dudes are, you didn't want to go to the school across the town where it was bigger for you. Like, no, I want to make it right here because I want to give hope to my younger cousins. And after you went on to Tennessee and graduated from Tennessee, you know, you said you had 3 of your younger cousins go off to college as well. You know what I'm saying? So that pressure, or that wanted to inspire the younger generation, I had that because I have my younger brothers. I'm like, but I thought the only way I could inspire my younger brothers were, man, I got to make it to the NFL. You know what I'm saying? I got to be the football player. You know what I'm saying? That's the only way I can inspire them. So just a lot like you, man, when I didn't make it to the NFL, like I felt let down. Like I feel like I felt let down. I let a lot of people down. I let my little brothers down. I let everybody down around me. So I'm like, man, and just like no wasted experience, and I'm trying to wonder what all of that I went through was for. And another thing about me, man, I'm trying to wrap it up, bro. Just a couple more minutes, man. I'm getting down to the bottom of my story. These are the better days to see how I overcame and how I'm an inspiration to people now and how I want to take it to the next level. But a couple things about me is I'm 6'3", you know, 6'3", 6'4". So I'm already bigger than the normal, you know what I'm saying, human, you know what I'm saying, the normal male, typical male is maybe 6 foot. I'm taller than that. So I feel like that's something unique about me. It's a lot of unique things about me. Also, I'm left-handed, bro. Like everything is left-handed about me. So I feel like that's another unique factor about me. I'm also the third. I'm Robert Hardin the third. So people that have that suffix and they be like, oh, you know what I'm saying, he's a third, you know what I'm saying, that's unique. Not everybody is a third. It's a generational thing. And then another unique thing about me that I kind of hold to me is, so like I got my one older sister. She's about 8 years older than me. And then it's me. But before my mom had me, my mother, she had 2 miscarriages. So she had my sister, and then she had 2 miscarriages. She had one at 8 months, and she had one at 5 months. And they were both boys. Like, she got the ultrasounds, and they were both boys, and she lost both of them. So now, when I was born, like, my granny would always tell me, my mom, my uncles, everybody, they'd be like, man, you're a miracle child. Like, we prayed for you differently than, you know what I'm saying, the normal kid, because your mom lost 2 boys before you. We just will always pray that you know what I'm saying, you can make it, you know what I'm saying, you will make it through. So, like, my family always tells me, yeah, I'm a miracle child. I'm my mom's miracle child. So, And then growing up, I'm like, okay, I believe I'm a miracle child, and just knowing that, like, dang, I made it after my mom lost the first two. Then I'm like, I'm 6'3", 220. Like, I'm thinking my miracle was football, though. I'm relating everything to football. So I never, thought that I would be, speaking. I didn't think that I would be inspiring people by just speaking. But the Bible tells us that. The Bible says, if you have the gift of giving, giving generously. If you have the gift of teaching, teach generously. If you have the gift of speaking, speak every chance you get. Like, the Bible really tells us that. So now I'm realizing what my gift is now. That I thought it was football, but I'm making more of an impact with people by, like, really speaking my story. And now just looking at it as that pain was part of the process. Like, if I never went through none of the stuff that I went through, I wouldn't be able to relate to people how I relate to them. So my experiences were, you said one thing. You said one thing. I was watching one of your serendipities with Garth Brooks, great musician. And you said our pain is preparation for who we are destined to become. And I was like, wow, that's crazy, because I really feel like that, like, all the pain that I went through, like, I'm destined to become, I'm ready to become, like, that inspirational speaker, because people telling me, like, and even I was watching the speech, the podcast with you and E.T. and CJ, and E.T. was like, he was like, as black people, football and basketball, sports, that's the new thing, but speaking and, being a motivational speaker, we've been doing this, the Malcolm X's, the Martin Luther Kings, the Harriet Tubmans, the Rosa Parks, the Nelson Mandelas. Like, he said, we've been doing this, as black people. Like, we've been speaking. That's our roots. That's what we, been doing. And now it's just becoming back popular. It's becoming back. It's happening more often. Now we're getting our foot in the door as African Americans that are able to speak. So I'm like, man, that make a lot of sense, because, and this is just now coming to me. But one story that made sense to me was, like, that I knew, like, okay, yeah, I feel like I'm here to speak. Like, God got me making my test into my testimony now. Like, everything I went through, I'm able to tell people about. I'm able to reach people and inspire people because of my story. So one story at my job, man, and I be getting passionate about it too. It be crazy how I feel. Like, I'm happy that, I want to be that inspiration. I want to be, that motivation in my city where I'm from for my generation. So I was at work, and it was a 18-year-old young kid came in. I remember his name. I remember everything about him. I won't say his name, on the video, but it was a young dude that came in, 18 years old. He came in for 187. He came in for murder, and he was shook up. Like, he didn't know what to expect when he got in there. He like, this is my first time going to jail. I don't know nothing. And he got there, actually. He got there on a Friday, but I was off that day. I came in on a Saturday, so he had to stay the whole weekend with us until he goes to court on Tuesday or on Monday. So I go and we're, how it is our housing is, we have our so, like, our book, it's our booking, and our processing is on the bottom level, is downstairs, and then we house everybody upstairs. So when I came in on Saturday morning, and this young dude, he was upstairs by himself. He was segregated, and he just asked me, like, he told me that he hadn't talked to nobody, no officers, in almost 24 hours. He had slept most of the day. He didn't really want to talk to nobody because he didn't know who to trust. So, I just go to work on Saturday morning, and I'm just doing my regular checks. We check each cell, and this young dude, he asked me, he like, hey, yo, you know what I'm saying, you guys got something to read? You got the newspaper or something? So I'm like, all right, yeah, you know what I'm saying, I'll bring you a newspaper. I'll go ahead and finish doing what I'm doing, and I'll take him the newspaper. This is about, like, 6:30, either 6:30 or 7 in the morning on one of my checks. And then, so time is going on, and we do 12-hour shifts. We're there from 6:30 a.m. to 6:30 p.m. And then the night shift come in 6:30 p.m. to 6:30 a.m. We all relieve each other. So it's probably like noon, 1 o'clock-ish, 2 o'clock-ish now, and I'm doing my checks again, and the same young cat, he was like, hey man, you guys don't have, like, no books or something? Like, I'm trying to read and just keep my mind off something. I'm trying to get some knowledge. And I'm like, nah, we don't have all that stuff, because where I'm at, it's a pre-arraignment. It's a pre-arraignment, and then everybody goes to court within 2 or 3 days, and then from there they'll get sentenced either to the county, to prison, or they'll be getting released. You know what I'm saying? Whatever outcome is they'll go to court from where we're at, and then they go to where they're gonna be at. So I'm like, nah, we don't have all that type of stuff here, bro. People used to be here for 2-3 days and they out. I was like, all we got is like the newspaper, man. We got the Bible. And he was like, all right, can I see the Bible stuff? And I'm like, oh, like me? I'm like, oh yeah, I for sure will get you the Bible. Like, I'm happy about that. Like, you want the Bible? You know what I'm saying? People don't ask for the Bible all the time in here. So I'm like, oh yeah, I get that for you, no problem. So I go finish what I'm doing. I run downstairs, go grab a Bible. I take it back to him. And like, this is the trip part about the story, Inc. So I give him the Bible. And he was like, all right. So like when he opened it, he just opened it from the very first page from, you know, God made the sun, God made the moon, God made the earth, you know, like the very first, and I'm like, you know what I'm saying? He asking about it. I'm like, you can't really, I mean, you can read the Bible from front to back, but it's not going to really make sense. Like you got to, it's specific scriptures in there for specific times, you know? So he was like, yeah, I never I never read the Bible before. So I'm like, dang, that's crazy. So I get a dude, I'm like, here, just read Psalms 41 and read Psalms 42, right? I tell him like one of them is going to talk about the darker days in life, you know what I'm saying? You're going to go through storms, and then the other one is going to talk about the brighter days in life when the sun shines again, things like that. And it's crazy, because I gave him the Bible, right? I said go to Psalms 41 and 42, you know what I'm saying? Try to just read on that. And he didn't even know how, like, so he didn't know the Bible breaks down, like, you find which book you want, then you find the verse, then you find the scripture. Like, he didn't even know none of that. So I'm like, dang, like, so at that moment, I was like, oh yeah, this God just put me on assignment to plant the seed in this dude right here. Like, I took it as a responsibility. I'm like, oh, this is a perfect time for me to plant the seed of God in this man, because you can't force it on the people. I've realized that, like, you can't force everybody to want to read it. Some people are not like that. But he was like, can you help me read the Bible? Man, like, so you know that feeling where it's Saturday night, it's a college game, like you got that passion, you got that energy, like you just excited about making the play, like, you know what I'm saying, you ready to do this. I've never felt that passion outside of football. I'm just working the job regularly. But when I had the opportunity to plant a seed into this young dude, man, my whole spirit just like exploded. I was excited about it. So I'm like, yeah, bro. So I open it for him, and I tell him, like, okay, you know, so I take him to the table of contents. I'm like, this is Psalms right here. You go to, you know what I'm saying, which page it's on, you go to that page. This is 41 and this is 42. Like, I break it down to him, and I'm excited about it. I'm like, man, I'm planting the seed in this dude. I'm doing God's work. God just tasked me an assignment. I'm happy to complete this assignment. So I tell him about this, and at this time, it's like I'm getting ready to leave. It's about 6:30 now when he asks me this. So I tell him, like, look, like, you know what I'm saying, just read this tonight. And he was like, okay, I'm gonna read it. And then when you come back tomorrow, because I was there the whole week, and he like, when I come back tomorrow, when you come and check on me, I'll let you know what I learned from it. I'm like, wow, like, it was crazy. I was so happy. So I'm like, okay, yeah, go, you know what I'm saying, go ahead and do that, little bro. Like, but on the inside, I'm like, man, like, God, like, you just gave me an opportunity, God, to show you how I could plant a seed. I could be a servant for you. I'm finna serve this young man. I'm finna plant this seed into this young man and introduce him to you, introduce him to Jesus. So, like, and I end up leaving. I call my granny on the phone right away. I'm like, Granny, like, it's this young dude in there, you know what I'm saying? He going through a little something right now. He just came to jail. Like, can you please send me some scriptures that I can share with him tomorrow when I get to work, so that he can, you know, so I can just help enlighten him. I can help, you know what I'm saying, plant this seed right here. Like, I'm eager to help him out. It's an opportunity. I'm like, what? Like, he want me to inspire him? Oh, I'm finna do this to the best of my ability. So my granny give me a couple scriptures. You know, and then it's crazy because the very next day when I got to work, I wasn't even up. So he was upstairs in a housing, but they had every day you could be assigned somewhere different. I was assigned downstairs that day. Like, immediately, as soon as I got in, I put my stuff down. I did everything I was supposed to do. I ran upstairs to check on him, man. I went to, you know what I'm saying, good morning, man. How you doing? How did you sleep last night? And he was like, you know what I'm saying, we started talking about the Bible, and he was like, so, and he's an 18-year-old kid. He's fresh with the Bible, so it's real new to him. So he's, you know, he like, well, I was reading Psalms 41, and I understand what it was saying. He was like, but I didn't understand the full meaning of 42 just yet. I was like, that's cool, bro. I told him, like, you know what I'm saying, the Bible is a lifelong thing. You don't have to rush through the Bible at all. Like, it's still parts of the Bible I haven't got to, but I'm just telling him, like, Like, no, you know what I'm saying? It's better for you to read one thing over and over and over and digest what you're actually reading rather than to just rush through it and you don't retain none of the information. So I'm like, if you don't understand that one, you know what I'm saying? It's, you know what I'm saying? Cool. Go ahead and digest on 41, and then you can get to 42. As I told him, I'm saying, keep that Bible, bro. Even when you leave out of here, keep that Bible, man. I gave that to you. That's for you to keep. So then, I'm like, so like at this point, I'm like, wow, like I'm really taking it personal. I'm like, God just put me on a task. God just gave me a mission to complete this mission and to instill into somebody else a seed, you know what I'm saying, for the love of God. So I'm like, man, I just feel so good about it, so good about it. So later on that day, it's phone time. I get him some phone time so he can make a couple calls back to his family. And, I give him the phone time, and when he has to go back up to his cell, I just go and talk. I'm checking on him all throughout the day because I'm downstairs. But if it's ever slow down there, no bodies have came in, there's nobody to book us, I run upstairs and I go and check on him. I'm like, how you doing? And then so he told me this. I don't make this story up. Lord knows. My right hand on the Bible. I was like, how you doing, man? And he was like, I'm good. It's like 2 in the afternoon. And he was like, I talked to my mom today. And he was like, now mind you, it's an 18-year-old kid. So 18-year-olds they don't like look people in the eye all the time. They don't know how to look someone in the eyes. They don't know how to, they don't just have that mentality where like being appreciative and showing appreciation it's not that hard for them. They kind of will look away, or they don't be like, yo, thank you, bro. I appreciate what you did for me. Really helped me out like that. At 18 years old, their capacity is not always that at that level. So this is an 18-year-old kid, right? So, but you know what I'm saying? So I'm like, how you doing? He like, this is what he tell me. He's not even looking at me. He's standing in a cell this way. And he's like, he told me, these are his words verbatim. He said, I just want to say thank you, and my mom says thank you too. And when he told me that, I was like, I'm like, you talk to your mom, everything good? He like, yeah, she says, thank you for giving me the Bible and looking out for me while I'm in here. I was like my heart was just beating fast. I couldn't even believe it. I'm like, man, I just burned this lady, his mother, peace just by knowing someone is on the inside looking out for him, really, taking care of her child where she can't control what's going on in here. And something like I brought her peace. Man, that feeling felt so good. I couldn't believe it. That's like that story probably happened it was earlier this year, maybe like January, February. That's when I realized like, oh yeah, I want to take this to a next level. I'm in here inspiring people because of my story for one, and just like that's just the gift that God has placed into me. I really believe that that's my gift. So I'm like, man, I want to take this to the next level. So, and now I realize why God put me in that jail, because I do it on a daily. That's just one story that really stuck out to me of an 18-year-old kid. But all day long, I'm talking to people, people are like, it's people in there that's really down on their luck, and they just went to jail, they're depressed in this, and I'm speaking into these people, and I'm giving them more life, and I'm giving them, the positivity, looking at the glass as half full, finding a silver lining. I'm like, dang, like, and I have a passion for that. Like, all day long, I try and preach positivity into people. So this, and even now, I feel like I'm rambling because I'm just so excited, so I'm just like, just talking. I'm finna close it up, but man, this story right here, man, is then it's like Garth Brooks has said. So I remember in you guys Serendipity, he said he wanted to be a athlete, a professional athlete, and the only thing that stopped him from making it to the professional league was, it was his ability. He cracked the joke out of it, and then he had heard George Strait on the radio, and immediately he said, oh. It just triggered in his mind. He stuck to it. He like, I want to be like George Strait. And then he followed that feeling, that passion. He followed it, and it manifested for him. And so now I be looking at you, Ink, and I'm like, man, like I want to be like Inky Johnson, man, because he's someone that didn't make it to the NFL just like me. He wanted to make it. It was his whole dream to make it to the NFL. He didn't make it, and now look what he's doing with his life. He turned his test into his testimony. He's inspiring people because of what he went through, and he didn't give up, and he overcame that. And I'm the same way. I didn't make it, but I inspire people because of what I went through, and I'm like, without those experiences, without those trials and trial and errors and those things that we went through, we wouldn't even have nothing to relate to people. People relate to us because we've been through what they've been through. I'm realizing that job, like, man, I'm not the typical officer, but I relate to more people in here because I relate to the minorities. These are the people, and I'm getting more now. It's officers that are coming to my job and be like, where's Hardin at? Can Hardin come talk to this arrestee for me? Can Hardin actually do this name? He won't tell us nothing. I'm like, and now I'm like, oh yeah, you guys used to look at me, with the side eye, because I, look different than you guys. I got the tattoos showing this. But now you see how, oh, he's a benefit. He can relate to these people more than we can. So it's just a blessing feeling to have, man. And that's really what this whole video was about. I just was like, man, I know it's a far shot, but I hope you get that feeling. Like, for instance, we can go to a camp. Say we go to a camp of 30 high schoolers. We don't know none of the high schoolers' names. We don't know none of the history. But as they're practicing and as they're playing, you just have that sense. You have that feeling like it's 2 or 3 dudes out here. You know what I'm saying? It's 1 or 2 dudes like, oh yeah, that guy got it. He has that it factor. He has that potential. The same thing like with Oprah, man. Like, Oprah Winfrey. She, people probably come up to her all day long, and her as anticipated, her securities don't really let people get close to her. But for some reason, when you walked up to her, Oprah had that feeling. She had that vibe. She has that sense in her. She was like, nah, let me see what this young man is talking about. Like, for some reason, she had that feeling for you, and that probably happens all day long for her. And that's what I'm praying on. God willing, if this is God's plan, that you have that same feeling. Like, when I'm gonna send this video, and the video's pretty long. So I'm like, I probably can't send this in an email. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna have to just upload this on YouTube, and I'll just email you the link to it. And God willing, you'll see it on YouTube. But I hope you just get that same feeling, Ink. That even I don't know how many people reach out to you. I would imagine a lot of people do, just to show their appreciation. But I hope you just see that if this is what God has planned, I hope that you get that same vibe, and you look at me and be like, yeah, this kid, he has an interesting story. He just wants to do right in life. He's a genuine guy, but he's human at the same time. He's made mistakes. But I hope my story just tricked. And what I pray for is, I don't even, like, it's nothing about money with me. Like me right now, since, like, now I got that passion where I want to be an inspirational speaker. I want to be a motivational speaker. I want to, like, just be on that platform. Like, I dream of, like, maybe going on a tour, say you have a tour around the world, you go to a couple, some schools for a couple months or this and this. I just want to be in the atmosphere the same way that I wanted to make it to the NFL. And I just want to be on the practice squad and just be in the environment and better myself by being around those people. I just pray that what I see is like, man, Inky gonna see this video. He gonna take me underneath his wing, because you're that type of, you're the dude. You say you want to give back to the next generation. You want to set things up where the next generation, you could pass the baton, to the next generation. They continue with the path that you've created for us. Man, I want to be the one to take that baton, and I'm not even in a rush to do it. I want to, I be in the background for however long, and it's just a young prodigy in the lab that the world don't even know about me. But I just want to study you. I want to see what that profession is like. I just want to, like, man, it's hard to put into words, but man, I just pray that, like, you have that vibe where you like, I want to take this dude under my wing. I want to better, give him an opportunity. All I pray for is opportunity. Inc. I'm not here to ask about money. Like I said, I'm doing pretty good for myself, but I know that jail is not my limit. I'm like, man, if I could do that for them arrestees, I want to touch more people in the world. I want to be on, I want to be able to go places like Inky and people really reach and be like, man, you changed my life for the better, man. So that's what I'm praying for in all this. That. What that feeling, this kid is interesting. I want to know his story. I want to see what he can do in life. He can give back to the people in his own way, so that's what I pray for, man. And then one quick story of how I feel like the universe was sending me signs. I'm a firm believer that the universe will send you signs. How God will place things, or he'll send you signs and he'll send you hints, and it's up to you to acknowledge them. So the universe has been sending me a crazy sign, man. So, how I told you that I've been working on making this video for you for about 2 or 3 weeks before I actually recorded it. I just wanted to prep it correctly and everything. So it's Mother's Day, right? Just a real quick story. It's Mother's Day that just passed, 2021. All the family is together. We're at my older sister's house, and my same granny, how I called the granny that I said I called for the scriptures for the young dude at the jail. That's where I get a lot of my, motivational inspiration from as well. And that's my mom's mom. That's my mother's mom. So we all it's Mother's Day, right? We all at my sister's house. And my granny, like probably like a week before then, she had sent me a motivational video, or she just sent me a video from Tony Evans. You know, she about because Tony Evans, he had a certain video where he was relaying, you know what I'm saying, everything. You know, he relayed his message to football. He was saying, you know what I'm saying, the Bible is one thing to read the Bible, and it's one thing to act according to the Bible. You know, you can read, you know what I'm saying, you can watch film all day, but unless you get on that practice field and you make it, you know what I'm saying, you practice what you're reading, you know what I'm saying, you know what I'm saying, it's two totally different things. And he was relating it to football. So my granny had asked me, man, we all sitting at the round table, but I was talking to my granny. She was like, hey, you know what I'm saying, hey Robbie, did you get a chance to watch that video I sent you? And I was like, yeah, that was a pretty cool video, Granny. Thank you for sending that. You know, like, I did get a chance to watch it. And we never said a name though, because we just knew what video we was talking about. And my mom is sitting at the table too, and she out of nowhere, she was like, who y'all talking about? You talking about that guy with the paralyzed arm? It was crazy, bro, because like at that specific time we actually weren't. We were talking about a Tony Evans, and my mom is she listens to, like, you know, the Tony Evans, the TD Jakes, the Les Browns, like, you know, Tony Robbins. She listens to, you know, more pastor like motivational speakers. Typically, that's what I know. So for me to be talking to my granny, and we actually talking about Tony Evans, and my mom still bring you up. She was like, you talking about the guy with I'm like, oh, that's crazy. Like, because actually at the time, no, we wasn't, but you brung him up. That's another sign from the universe saying, reach out to this guy. You know, I feel like that, like, it was just ironic that she said your name, man, at that specific time. This is in the same time where I'm thinking about hitting you up, the same time where I'm like, okay, let me introduce. This is not 2-3 years ago. This is all right now. The universe is sending me sign after sign after sign. So my mom said that, man. She like, you talking about the guy with the paralyzed arm? I'll be watching him now too. Wow. Okay. I hear you, God. I hear you, God. You know, I'm finna act off these signs. I'm finna act off of this passion that I'm feeling right now. That was a crazy story, man, and that's a true story too. I'm not even making that up. That really happened. But yeah, Ink, man, I pray that, you know what I'm saying, this video does, you know, reach you and you make an impact. But at the same time, I feel like this is God guiding me. This is not nothing that I'm trying to force onto you, or it's not even nothing I'm trying to force into the atmosphere. I'm not trying to become something that I don't feel like I naturally am. I naturally feel like God gave me the gift of speaking, and I feel like God is telling me right now, like, you know what I'm saying, go ahead and reach out to Ink. I know it's a far shot, but go ahead and do it. You know what I'm saying, reach out to him, and God is going to, you know what I'm saying, he's going to meet me right in the middle, and he's going to carry it however big he wants this to flourish for us. I feel like God put this on my heart to reach out to you, and he's going to handle the rest. You know what I'm saying? He gonna do everything in between, where he gonna connect the dots. I believe that God sent this to me, and if it's, you know what I'm saying, if it's not in God's will, and if it doesn't happen, honestly, man, I feel good making this video just because I got it off, because I felt so strongly about it. I'm like, man, I got to do this. God is telling me to reach out to Ink, and he could change your life for the better, but you got to take that leap of faith. So even if nothing comes out of it, like, just like you say, you know, can you commit to it without being attached to the outcome? You know what I'm saying? As far as your arm and things like that, you were like, man, they told you there's no guarantees you'll be able to move your arm again, but you know what I'm saying, you'll be able to, you know what I'm saying, have you know what I'm saying, feeling in your arm. But you was like, I'm finna commit to the process without being attached to the outcome. That's the same thing with this video, Ink. Right now, I pray for the outcome. I pray that God willing it works out for me, but I'm attached to the process. I'm attached to willing to reach out, you know what I'm saying, and, you know what I'm saying, because I believe, you know, my faith is bigger than my fear. I believe that God put this on my heart to do, so I'm doing it. So if nothing even comes out of this, it's one of them ones like, well, you know what I'm saying, I wasn't attached to the outcome, you know what I'm saying, I guess that wasn't God's will. But I wouldn't even be doing this, you know what I'm saying, sending a video, if this wasn't in my spirit, that I feel like this was God's will for it to be done, whatever God's plan is for it to be done. So, you know, I just pray on that, man, and I feel a lot better. I know it's been a long video. I've been all over the place. I'm nervous, you know, like but I really wanted to do this, and it's a rough copy. You know, I didn't get it professionally shot. I'm on my computer at home, but I'm like, man, let me just make this video, man. I want to reach out to him because I want to have the opportunity to change my life for the better by, you know what I'm saying, learning game from the ones that did it before me, like yourself. And I admire you so much. It would be a dream come true if you took me under your wing and you showed me the ropes, and I flourished in however my only way of flourishing. And then it's funny because, so this is the video that I mentioned, or the words that I mentioned before. So down here at the bottom, I don't know if you could see it, But it says, right here it says, we all grateful for Inky, but no one more than me. And it's funny, man, because it's a little song that Drake has, you know, where he was showing his appreciation to Lil Wayne. He said, we all grateful for Weezy, but no one more than me. Just showing his appreciation, like how Wayne took his career to another level. You know what I'm saying? What Lil Wayne did for Drake, and it wasn't money wise, but just, you know what I'm saying, exposing him. Exposure leads to expansion. So for him to expose Drake to their career and to, you know what I'm saying, just show him the ropes, he was so grateful for it, man. And I wrote that at the bottom because, you know, a lot of me, I like to speak things to existence. I believe that this is, you know what I'm saying, this video is for the greater good. I believe it's going to reach you. God is going to play, you know what I'm saying, God is going to have his hand on both of us, you and I, and whatever. I don't know how big it can get, but I believe God has his hand on us in this very moment. So at the bottom of those notes, when I wrote, because I wrote that out, I'm like, man, I want to, you know what I'm saying, propose this to you the correct way. I'm introducing myself. I don't want to just free will it. So I'll be writing things down, trying to, you know, make sure everything is aligned. So at the bottom I wrote, you know what I'm saying, no one, you know what I'm saying, we all grateful for Inky, but no one more than me, man. Like literally, like the world, I know we are grateful for you, but I'm grateful for you for what you've done for my life. And I want to be that young prodigy where when I, you know what I'm saying, when I blow up, when I make it to that level where I inspire people, man, Inky put me in this position. I remember I reached out to Ink and he was willing to reach back and show me the ropes. He was able to do that for me. So it's a song with Drake, man. Drake and Rick Ross. It's called Lemon Pepper Feast. I'm not sure if you heard it. I'm gonna play it real fast though, just real fast for you. So.
Order please. You gotta head a link before you order these. Docking jet skis in the Florida Keys. We all grateful for Weezy, but no one more than me. You just find a bottle with the message.
Yeah, man, we all grateful for Inky, but no one more than me. Like literally, I can't wait to say that one day because I'm speaking into existence. But I believe that we're gonna be connected one day, man. I'm gonna be your young prodigy or however it is. You're gonna put me in that opportunity space, or even if we just go sit down and have a bite to eat. I truly believe that something is gonna come out of this, and that's the reason that I continue to do it, even though it seems like a far reach. Same with football. My faith is greater than my fear, so I'm gonna go ahead and wrap this up, man. God bless you so much, Ink, man. God bless you. God bless your wife. God bless your 2 beautiful kids, man. Keep inspiring the world. Keep inspiring me, and we all grateful for you, but no one more than me, man. I'm my gratefulness. Thank you, Ink. So I'll be seeing you soon, bro. Just speaking into existence. One love, Ink.